Well, okay, so let's cover the episode first. What did you think of this episode on a scale of warps 1 through 10, knowing that warp 10 doesn't actually exist?
So, knowing that warp 10 doesn't actually exist, I would have to give this one a emotional 9.7.
Oh, that's pretty high.
But if I'm taking the episode as it is, a couple of points off of there, but we had mentioned last week, the differences in opinion, me being a Star Trek fan as of 2006, and yourself being able to stick around for, the original series being relatively new, not maybe like compared to me in the Next Generation now, being able to see the Next Generation and all those movies and all those shows come out live.
Mm-hmm.
This one for me was the first time I had gotten to see a Star Trek legal drama one of the Society episodes.
Sure,
one of the ones
yeah.
where they try and get you to watch to really take a hard look and actually see it new and see the parallels in what's going on in the world today and what's happening in the news and what's happening in places all over the country. And it was kind of a bit of a ride for me because I'm used to going back to these types of episodes and going, I mean, this is an entertaining episode, but I'm, at minimum 20, 30 years removed from the point,
Yeah.
Like, say you would have when it come out on a Friday or Saturday night.
Yeah, exactly. So after season 2, I pretty much watched Next Generation as it was released. Obviously, it was canceled. The original series was canceled 4 years before I was born, but it showed 2-3 times a day on TV when I was a kid. And for me, those were all new episodes. And honestly, even though in my head, it seems like the early to mid 70s and the late 60s are a million years apart, they're not. They're just a handful of years apart. Yeah. So the world was very much the same, So yeah, I get what you're saying there as far as like when you watch an episode of, say, the original series, it was from 40 years before you were born. Whereas for me, it was 4, or what, 30 years for you, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, I could see that where, hang on, dog. I can see that where this is the first one that really kind of held up a mirror to your time. Kind of said like,
And,
go ahead.
Did I lose you there?
No. I was starting to say something, but so were you, so I stopped talking.
My bad. But, what I was going to say is, I actually have a couple of friends that, I'm not going to go put their business out on the internet, but these issues that we have today affect them quite personally. And I went up to him and said, I know you're not Star Trek people, but why don't you do me a favor and give this episode a watch for me if you can find it. Tell me what you think about it. And they did. As far as I know, they still haven't managed to finish the whole episode. But when I had just talked to them recently, because we were going to record this, it's Sunday today, we were going to do it on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I had reached out that day to talk to them about it. And they said, we haven't gotten through 15, 20 minutes of it, but gay rights. It's 100% talking about gay rights. And I was like, well, that's what I was thinking too.
Like I said,
kind of the big one right now in the news.
It is, but it's also talking about, just racial differences.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
talking about everything for sure.
Yeah.
But that was what had definitely stood out in their mind. So it definitely is something that, I feel a lot of people should give it a watch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Even if you're not a Star Trek fan.